So to start, I will just show you the actual packaging of the palettes that I own. I have the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun. I believe this is Mothership 8 or 7. I have my Natasha Denona Glam palette. I have my Fantasy Cosmetica Enchanted Autumn eyeshadow palette, which was in collaboration with Makeup Just for Fun. I have my Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral. My Alyssa Edwards palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. My Bella Beauty Bar Coalescence palette done in collaboration with Newport Makeup. My Odin's Eye palette from the Love Language collection done in collaboration with Morgan Turner. And my Fantasy Cosmetica Warlock palette. These are a few of my singles. I have a few from Urban Decay, a few from Sephora Collection, and one from Fenty that I consider as an eyeshadow. Those are all of the palettes that I own at the moment. And single shadows that come in their own compacts. I did not include the eyeshadow palettes that I might have shown you in previous videos, such as my eyeshadow singles that I received during my Black Friday sale, because those are still new to me, new to my collection, and I don't want to include my Black Friday sale purchases just because that's like its whole other category, I feel. So yeah, I will just take you in a little closer to show you my palettes. I don't know if you can kind of see or sense a theme with my collection, but I do definitely have a preference for purples, apparently greens, and really toned down shades. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm trying to figure out the best setup for my eyeshadow palette collection and tour. But yes, I can tell you right off the bat, there are a few that I've already had my eye on decluttering because whenever I use them, they just don't bring me joy, nor do I enjoy my looks all the time. And I just think I've had better experiences with other eyeshadow palettes and formulas. Okay, so I do just want to start with my single eyeshadows because I already know I'm going to be decluttering. So the two that I will be decluttering first is the Sephora Collection single eyeshadow shades that have not been used. They still have the sticker on them and everything. I have opened these just to take a closer look, but I have not swatched them, so they will go to a new home, very pristine. Oh, somewhat pristine. So this is the Sephora Collection single eyeshadow in the shade 217, which is the shade Chocolate Chip. It is a glitter It's very beautiful. I did want this at one point in time, but I have some similar eyeshadows in my collection that can do the same thing. So yes, I will definitely just be letting go of this shade. Next, I have the other Sephora Collection single eyeshadow in the shade 310, which is called Soulmate. This one is a warm toned purple. It's very beautiful. I did want this at one point in time, but to be honest, I've had these single eyeshadows in my collection for like over a year and they've been unused, so I think it's just time to let them go. I will be decluttering too. Next, going into my other single eyeshadows, I do have a few more Sephora Collection single eyeshadows. These are matte though, and I do plan on keeping them. So this shade is Secret Boudoir 206. It's a more slightly pinkish toned, pinkish undertoned matte. Very light shade, but it is very useful and handy when I need it, so I'm definitely keeping this one. The other very light but useful shade to me is the shade Lazy Afternoon 106. The shade differs slightly from Secret Boudoir because Lazy Afternoon has a slightly more light beige undertone, so I will be keeping it as well. Next, I have 219 Coffee Break. I love this matte. It's just an easy go-to, and the Sephora Collection single eyeshadows are actually a really beautiful formula, so yes, I will definitely be keeping this one. And the nice thing about these Sephora Collection single eyeshadows is that they are removable. Some of the stickers on the back let you know that they are removable, but if you own these, there is a notch on them right there. You can see that little divot. I will definitely be taking these out of their single compacts and putting them in with my other single eyeshadows that are kind of housed in their own magnetic palettes. So yeah, definitely keeping those. Next, I have two Urban Decay single eyeshadows. These are the Moon Dust single eyeshadows. The first one I have is in the shade Solstice, probably one of my oldest single eyeshadows, but it has been very much well loved. It's a beautiful shade. I love this one on me. It's such an easy one and done look, and I'm definitely keeping this. Urban Decay Moon Dust shadow that I own is in the shade Lithium. This one I have used, just not as much as Solstice. This one is so beautiful. Ugh. It kind of reminds me of that Sephora Collection single eyeshadow that I'm decluttering. Right there. There's some similarities. Maybe just the glitter portion, but the undertone looks slightly different. But I love this one. I feel so beautiful when I wear it, so I'm definitely keeping this one. Lastly, for single eyeshadows, I have my Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb All Over Diamond Veil in How Many Carats. I do have the mini because I bought this in a little set that came with a gloss bomb sticks and a mini mascara. But this is the shade How Many Carats. I have been wanting this for several years now, and it is beautiful. It is just a suspended glitter balm. It's absolutely beautiful. I do keep this in my eyeshadows collection because I normally wear it as an eyeshadow. I have, however, worn this on my cheekbones, and it is absolutely magnificent. Definitely keeping this, and I'm so glad to have this. In terms of my single shadows, I am letting go of two, and I am keeping these. Next, to tackle my eyeshadow palettes. As you can tell, I do definitely have a preference. I do like eyeshadow palettes that come in, I believe, 16 pans or less. I just prefer that. Anything bigger, I think I get too overwhelmed. But I do have a preference in terms of color scheme. Clearly there are a few that could definitely be decluttered, and these are just the ones I'm no longer vibing with. So we'll just start with one that I definitely know I'm not keeping. This is my Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is the midi, meaning it's like 15 pans. It is a beautiful, beautiful palette. Like, the shimmers are beautiful, the mattes blend very well, and it is absolutely beautiful. But I think my time with it, I just no longer reach for it. I haven't wanted to use it in a while. I actually did declutter this from my collection, and I showed it to my friend. She didn't reach for it, she didn't want it, so I'm just including it here back in this eyeshadow palette collection because it's still technically in my collection. But no, this has been officially decluttered a few months back, but I just wanted to show you all. It's beautiful. I did create really nice, simple, beautiful looks. The shimmers are magnificent, but I think it's a little bit one note. So I will be letting go of my Natasha Denona Glam palette. I'm just going to show updates of my eyeshadow palette collection as I declutter, just because I want to see an overview of my palettes and the shades, just to get an idea of my preferences. So the next palette I believe I'm going to declutter is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Alyssa Edwards palette. I actually have not used a ton of shades in this palette. The shades I have used are the most neutral ones. So I've used Headliner, the Supreme, Inspire, Back Rolls, maybe Beast, but I mainly stuck to relatively neutral tones because that's kind of where my heart lies, and it appeared to be the easiest shades to work with in my opinion. I did think about at one point selecting a few shades that are very unique to my collection, such as like this Cobalt Blue Dream It, the shade Believe, which is a deep purple, just like a few either bright tones or jeweled tones to keep, but that would require me to literally break apart this palette and kind of just fuss with it, and I don't like fussing, honestly. So I think I'm ready just to let go of this eyeshadow palette because I haven't touched majority of the shades. Like, I haven't touched these colorful tones right here, pretty much in the center, and I just think, although my friend did give me this palette and I appreciated it in the time, like she passed it on to me, I no longer want this in my collection. And in my latest video, I did speak on my makeup intentions for 2026, and I also noted my preferences for eyeshadow colors, and brights were not part of that. So I'm just going to let go of the Alyssa Edwards Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I'm actually going back on my word, and I think I will keep the Anastasia Beverly Hills Alyssa Edwards palette because in the slim chance that I get an inkling towards using a bright, bold, beautiful shade, this palette I believe is ideal for that reason, and this will probably not tempt me to purchase a whole new palette that I may or may not get use out of that contains bright shades. This palette was given to me for free by my friend. She passed it along to me. And so I just think it makes sense to hold on to it. Not because she gave it to me, but just because I got it for free. Like, I don't have to go searching for a bright, colorful palette. I probably will feature the Alyssa Edwards palette in a few videos and do tutorials on it because I need to gather my thoughts a little more on it since I haven't used it a ton. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just going to be in palette limbo for the moment. But yeah, I'll definitely do some looks with it, gauge my experience with it and my thoughts on it, and then see if I want to keep it in my collection or not. Narrowing it down, I feel like you can better see and understand my preferences now. The only one that is standing out to me at the moment is the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral palette. I have desired for this palette since my late teens because I love the idea of this color story. I mean, it's just super warm tones mixed with cooler tones, and I just think that juxtaposition is absolutely magnificent. Like, I love that idea. I have reached for this palette quite a few times, and it is beautiful. However, I think I can just create these looks with like my Pat McGrath Mothership palette, or just something better that may come along the way. This eyeshadow palette is nice. Like, it's a basic formula. It's nice to use. It's easy to use. It's buildable. But I think as right now where my preferences lie, they are not in these really rich orangey coral tones. But I'm still stumped because I think I will come back around to this palette, and it is absolutely beautiful. I will say I think the shimmers are a bit lacking. I don't know how long my friend had this palette, but this palette has been on the market for quite a few years, like maybe almost 10 years now, or maybe less, but the mattes perform fine. The shimmers are a bit lackluster. I think I will keep this eyeshadow palette in limbo, so I'll use it a few more times, but it is likely to leave my collection, and I kind of want to create a few looks with this one to see how many different looks I can create, because although this is a 12-pan palette and I love the size, I want a variety within my 12-pan eyeshadow palette. So yeah, this is likely to leave my collection, but I do want to figure out my thoughts a little deeper and maybe do a few looks. So these are my eyeshadow palettes that are remaining. Let's do a little close-up of them. To be honest, I know some of these may repeat, especially a lot of the shades, they may repeat, but I get so much joy from using these eyeshadow palettes that you see here, and I can create a variety of looks and it still makes me so happy. So I think as of right now, I don't see any more that I want to declutter. I thoroughly enjoy all of these shades, the tones that are in them, and yeah, I don't see any of them leaving. So that about sums up my eyeshadow palette. Collection and Declutter. These are the ones I'm definitely decluttering. Got my single eyeshadow palette, or single eyeshadows from Sephora Collection, my Natasha Denona Glam palette, and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Alyssa Edwards. My Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral is in limbo. These are the beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow palettes that I am planning to keep in my collection. Cat cameo. Hello, boy. What are you doing? What are you doing, my precious? Hello. He's so grumpy because it's early in the morning and he's hungry.